So I'm here in the town of Xàtiva in Spain, and I'm up at the castle at the moment, and down in the distance, the town below us is where Tamara's house is. And so my job today as the house whisperer is to take a look at the house and see and feel what the energy is like and how it correlates to the dreams and aspirations that Tamara has in the journey of her life, to make sure that it will give her everything she needs if she decides to buy it. What I need to establish here is if the soul of this building has a resonance that matches that of Tamara's. This means that she has a better chance of achieving her dreams. So as I stand here on the landing, I can sense the leftover lingering energy of the previous occupants. And this could be just about everybody who's ever lived here. And every thought, emotion, feeling, whether happy or negative, is actually imprinted in the walls, in the atmosphere of the house. Now this will impact on Tamara's life if she chooses to move here. And so it's really important to be able to clear that old energy so she starts with a clean slate, so she can live her own life, follow her own path, follow her own dream, rather than live the life of those who have lived here before.
I've seen the house a couple of times now, and I guess the reason I'm pursuing this particular house and the reason I called the house Whisper in is because the way the house makes me feel is quite childlike. I go in there and I feel very joyous and childlike, and that is exactly how I'd like to live my life henceforward. And so that's why I'm pursuing, the kind of getting the energy that's obviously needs, is out of balance at the moment, rebalanced, and hopefully that's possible with the House Whisperer's help.
I mean, this is an incredible find in a town like this. But what is really important is to make sure that if you do decide to buy this house, that the old energy that is lingering in the air, in the old wardrobes, even in the old bed that we've just looked at, needs to be cleared. It does feel like the old energy of who lived here before is very much in the fabric of the bed, the clothes, in the wall. It certainly does need a serious space clearing. This is quite extraordinary. This is where they used to keep the chickens, and this is up on the second floor. So quite extraordinary, and a pen here for some pigs perhaps. So it's how they used to live. So in front of me here we've got the castle built across the mountain top, and behind me here really fascinating tiles for the roofs, absolutely extraordinary. So quite a nice contained feeling here, very pretty indeed. One thing I look for in a house is for a good solid mountain support behind it. Here there is a vast mountain with the castle, but it faces the front of the house. This could have the effect of blocking her life, so this would need to be addressed in due course. Another aspect that I consider when looking at houses for people is their orientation. The north, south, east, west aspect of a building derives from its own numerology, its own birth date from the time it was built. So if we can establish that, we can find out if this house actually suits Tamara's own personal numerology from her own birth date. From my calculations, this house is not aligned to Tamara's best astrological orientation. Therefore, if she does move here, I would need to make some energetic changes. So what I'm going to do now is actually check the energy of the space. Now, I can feel it with my whole being, but using dowsing rods actually shows it visually for people to see. And when the rods cross on their own, what they are doing is reflecting the energy in the room. So when they cross, then there is something that is out of balance. So let's see what happens when I check the energy in this bedroom. So we see we're getting quite a strong crossing, and they're even coming back on me, which is a very strong negative energy. And it correlates with what I can feel in here, which is very much a leftover feeling of whoever lived here before, whoever slept in this bed. Perhaps they had an illness or they were just old and tired. But what is for sure is it doesn't feel good to me physically. And very clearly, when I lift the rods up over the bed, you can see they cross and even come back. And that confirms that there is something very much out of balance. So what we have here is an energy line crossing. And when you get this in a property, it means there is something that is out of balance with the earth energy. Now we're in a town where you have an old castle, a cathedral, another church this way, a monastery. When you have these sacred sites, which are usually built on energy line crossings, you can be sure that they will have an effect on the houses and therefore people's lives in the area. So Tamara,
Yeah.
why have you chosen to look at this house particularly?
It was one of those moments where you'd say it was serendipitous or meant to be, but it landed on my lap in a way that was not preconceived, not organised, not set up. It just came to me.
So there was a flow to the...
There was a flow, yeah,
you.
absolutely. I'd seen loads of other properties, and it was all like, I'd said all the interviews by telephone, and this one just came. And so I came to see it at night, which was an unusual way, but of course in Spain that you can do that. Yeah, there was just something that night. It just twinged in me. There was a whole kind of bodily feeling of wow, and I hadn't had that with any of the other properties I'd looked at.
I mean, there is an extraordinary view from up on the terrace of the castle.
Incredible.
Quite dramatic, isn't it?
Very dramatic, and that's what hit me the first night. We came up here at night, and of course that is what you see. You've got the castle up on top of the hill, all lit up, and I just went, and this feeling of completely romantic artisan life was just there in front of me, and I could kind of see a vision of really treading my authentic path in life. And I could just feel it right there, and I was just like, this is it.
So moving to another country from England is quite a major move. What is it you're looking for
my feeling about England is it doesn't kind of suit my energy. There's a lot about the energy of England that's, for me, very shut off and cold, apart from the weather, of course. It doesn't suit my artisan kind of energy and authentic creativity that I feel I really want to express now and walk forward with. And I feel Spain, I'm sure there's some past life stuff with Spain with me. Every time I come here, I feel I'm back home. And I don't know why that is, but certainly it would be very interesting to look at that. So I'm really looking for a space where I can feel, at home in a community. And here in Spain, there's a very much togetherness and a family orientated kind of way of life. It's very tactile and tangible. And the way our society's gone, it's very much gone, very faceless and, paperless, and everything's computers. And I guess I really want to return as much as I can in myself and my life to a very physical, hands-on, tangible, tactile life. Really, and so the fabric of this building particularly has got that for me. It's got the ancient, and it's got just, history, I guess.
You mention the word home. Of course, as the House Whisperer, this is very much my work, to make sure that people feel at home where they live. And as we go around this house, I will point out the potential pitfalls and may actually prevent you from feeling at home.
Yeah.
So what is it to you that the word home means?
Home means somewhere that is not painted white all over. Like all the programmes that obviously we've all listened to for many years of, how to sell a home and to physically make it all neutral. Whereas the work you're doing is very much not about that, it's about the energy. And in the end, you're selling a feeling and a vibration. And if you can create that in a home, it's very much about the heart. And for me, the way forward with which I want to go is through my heart. I want to, create my work from a heartfelt place. And a higher vibration where, this house I'm hoping, will be the thing that very much supports that vision. And so it's not about painting the walls all neutral. It's not about, making it all stark or thinking that, you're going to resell it in 2 years and, it's got to be a perfect home. It's not about that. It's about absolutely living how I would like to live, not how everyone else's vision is of how to live. This is totally about, how I see it, which is very personal. Well, since the House Whisperer visited, I really feel this house could become my home. Now I've fully understood why I've actually chosen this house, and also all the energetics that are actually kind of misaligned right now. If I actually decide to buy the house, I'd really like the House Whisperer to return and make those energetic changes to absolutely ensure that I will live a creative and abundant life.